Hello, everyone. We're back. Game 3, Team Wales, SBTC. We're actually there. We're getting the full-blown 3-game series. And Marby, at this point, it feels up in the air as to who could actually be taking this series.
So these games have been really close, pretty much decided by one team fight that just leads to a Nexus kill, which is huge. I'm loving this series. It feels like we haven't had one that's been this close despite multiple 2-1 series, and I'm so excited. I love to see Wales play to their peak. SBTC maybe not living up to playing at theirs, but they're still putting on a good show, and these are two teams playing very well and trading blows very effectively.
What do you think has been the biggest difference then for Team Wales going from Game 1 to Game 2 that allowed them to get the win over SBTC? Or was it SBTC that did something differently?
Nagia didn't. That was a really good
True.
start.
Yeah.
Didn't lose a lot. Didn't get killed over and over again. Plus, I think more than anything else, really, just look so much more comfortable on what they had. Senator Kench has been a favorite for this bot lane. Killer Queen's Lee Sin is fantastic, and Glory just had a really great game on this Talia on top of it all. And with a gameplay that couldn't be punished, it just seemed to round out and make a very comfortable composition for Team Wales that played to their strength and shut down a lot of what SBTC was trying to do.
So as we head into picks and bans for Game 2, what you're saying SBTC need to do is, alongside that core key, they need to ban the Senna, good job, and then they need to ban the Lee Sin.
Possibly the Lee Sin. I would almost go and ban the gameplay ahead of it. I don't know.
Okay.
Remove that safety from the side of Nagia and open up that weakness once again. Attack the weak link is the strategy I would go for, but of course a Killer Queen Lee Sin ban is never the wrong decision.
Okay, well, let's see. Team Wales themselves banning away the Kalista, banning away the Renata. SBTC going to take away the Zeus, pinching away at that ADC pool. So maybe we're going to be finding ourselves in what you were talking about in the Game 1 draft, which was the Aphelios Jinx bottom lane.
This is a bit of a wasted ban in my opinion. I feel like teams have sort of have kind of learned that Lucian Nami is kind of not really worth picking right now, and you can just ignore it. Meanwhile, you could have traded for so much more. And with this Aphelios first pick, you can just lock in, I don't know, Lee Sin and Silas and have an insane mid-jungle duo. You can pick you can pick whatever you want. I don't think Tahm Kench is necessarily the way to go.
Don't do it. Oh no. What's this going to be? Tahm Kench Jinx? Or is there another big ADC that I'm missing out on here?
I guess, but you're going to lock the Lee Sin here anyway. You have that up pre-pick to pick up whichever AD carry you're going for. Probably the Jinx, I imagine, with that support behind them, but I don't know. I feel like Tahm Kench was never really in danger of being picked away. And now SBTC are just going to feel comfortable grabbing a Lulu or whatever for Aphelios and just be happy with that.
Yeah, but for now, just going to go towards Viego. I think that did get banned away in Game 1, open here for Game 3. So this time we will not be seeing a volley bet, which we saw in Games 1 and 2 from DNK. And now let's see how SBTC want to complete their first round of picks. Whether they look to pick something for Dia 1 or whether they just look to lock in the support role.
So if we're going to go back to Nautilus, that's an okay pick against the Tahm Kench because you can just depth charge and sort of get the 2-for-1 with whoever's in the stomach alongside. But yeah, that's just gonna. It looks like we're just gonna be sort of hitting very basic team fighting compositions, reminiscent to Spring. Viego, Lee Sin, just gonna keep banging it. Just gonna bang against each other's heads, and yeah, very nothing comps right now. They don't really scream an identity beyond team fight, I suppose. A bit of reset on either side. Just just a little bit lackluster, a little bit outdated. It feels to me. Not really playing on patch strengths, playing purely for comfort.
Now, I would also like to highlight as well that Talia is open this time. SBTC are the ones banning away the Silas, which comes as a surprise to me considering that Dia 1 has quite liked that Silas pick, and I think looked
You don't have
relatively good on
you don't
it.
have pick priority as the thing, so that would be an R4 grab for the side of Team Wales. As they'd say,
Okay.
counter pick the top lane. So that makes sense to me.
Now, what is the final ban then from the side of SBTC? Do they look to continue to pinch away at Glory Chapel?
I'm thinking Blanc is quite likely. There it is. That seems to be one of Glory's most prolific picks, one of his favorites to go to. But the Talia is still up, as you said, and it does fit into the composition quite nicely for Team Wales, and it's just generically strong. Can go the Nah. It seems to be very much the same sort of idea. I imagine Anpil will respond in kind with something, possibly an Irelia if anyone's got to pick it out. I mean, we've seen the Riven in the past as a Nah counter. Maybe he just goes with the GP and plays it safe. Lots to go for, but Team Wales now left for trying to counter pick mid lane. I suppose.
Huh?
Okay.
I mean, we saw this in game 1, and the Gwen just gets rather hard countered by the Gnar, it felt, but SBTC want this matchup nonetheless.
Yeah, this is kind of just a gauntlet thrown saying, I'm just that much better than you. You cannot leverage this Gnar in any way that can actually threaten me. And if this Ahri gets looked in, I want to see that last pick Lissandra come through 100% because it just shuts down Ahri so hard and can work so well with the rest of the team and set up a fantastic team fight. So I feel if that Lissandra gets locked in, Team Wales is just going to come away with an absolute giga draft gap, and then that, by the laws of VCS, that means they'll probably lose the game, but I mean, look,
So
Talia
they didn't go Lissandra. They're playing it smart. They know the win conditions.
The thing is, Talia is also pretty good against Ahri because he can't Spirit Rush over the E. Diazir is kind of the worst of the three options.
There you go.
But,
Being smart, Marvy.
providing that secondary carry is not a bad thing, I suppose, but also provides a bit of playmaking with that Shurima Shuffle, so it's not terrible. I just think you could have slam dunked this draft. You could have just slammed the card down and been like, alright, we win now.
Just double checking. Glory won a zero game so far. The split did lose that game as well for Team Wales, but drafts are completed. Do you think, despite, and I use that word, despite the Azir pick, do you think Team Wales have still come out on top over SBTC?
I do think so. I mean, it's fairly even. I think Nah and Jinx are better than their counterparts, but Viego should be better than Lee Sin, and it's kind of a wash on the other roles. So, plus, in terms of cohesion of the draft, it's a very nice.
Quick question.
Very nice draft.
You said that Viego is better than Lee Sin. Is it
Yes.
better than Killer Queen's Lee Sin, though?
I mean, yes, because Viego is a stupid champion and can give you free pentakills out of nowhere. A monkey can play Viego. Yeah, no, it feels like... I feel there's a bit more cohesion in what Wales has drafted. It's a very standard front-to-back team fight with a bit of pick in the form of Lee Sin to bridge that early game. But we're gonna have to sort of see a bit more variety coming out of SBTC, but they also have just standard solid tools that these team comps are basically a wash. It's awful. There's nothing interesting about them.
Look, we've got Azir. That means scaling meta. I like it.
Azir Jinx, baby.
Azir Jinx.
6 items do not talk to me until
look,
then.
It's Azir Jinx versus a Gwenophelis. This is what we live for in the VCS. Okay, it's not. I'll be honest on that point, but it is what we've kind of seen from Team Wales. Again, I go back to that whole scaling point, and while in Game 2, Team Wales didn't have a massively scaling comp versus SBTC. They did have a scaling comp, but it wasn't that much stronger than SBTC's in that regard. What do you make of it in this game?
I feel that it's very much. It's a little bit in the favor of SBTC in terms of raw damage output, but I think Team Wales has a very nice front to back composition and play it out very standardly, and the scaling of a Nazir and a Jinx is enough just on their own to match. So fairly happy across the board. I don't think anyone either has a particularly large advantage, and it's just going to be a matter of how they play it out. And
Calm down.
Emperor's just going to give Nagia a little bit of the treatment that Nagia gave them in the early stages of that Gwen matchup. Unfortunately for Emperor, he doesn't have a killer queen to flash over a wall and make a weird tower dive to knock him out at level 2, but can get a very good early trade on while he still has the opportunity before those hyper procs come in and make the kiting insane from the mini-Gnar. But we'll get some health back quickly, and looking at this pressure coming out from bot lane, side lane's looking good. This can give Killer Queen so many openings to try and make DNK's life hell.
Killer Queen barely even needs an opening. You can just have the tiniest of cracks, and Killer Queen will show himself. DNK now showing himself in the mid lane. Flash charm, and it lands onto Glory. Flashes away. DNK flashes to follow, and the trailing auto of DR1 is enough to secure first blood for SBTC.
Yeah, felt safe. Did not expect the follow-up of that flash charm to come on through, and that will be first blood for sure. And I mean, it's just fantastic play. Just Glory not respecting it, but Killer Queen is just going to go hyper aggressive. DR1 low on mana. Can't really help his jungler out at all. Killer Queen is just going to be a nuisance. That's all he's here to be.
Is he going to steal this blue buff?
Yeah.
DNK still doesn't trust the fact that No! We don't want to see the replay right now!
Yeah, just flash charm. That's all there really is to it. Glory tries to flash it out in a little bit, but the flash follow provides enough damage for that follow-on auto attack to pick up the first blood. So, yeah, he's got to get his wolves in the end as DNK, but that's 2 camps taken away. We'll have the priority over this crab, thanks to DR1, who will also help scout out perhaps a raptor camp he could make his way into. He has to be a little bit careful. Killer Queen will be spotted out, so DNK
CBL is coming up as well here.
Oh, this could be interesting. This could be fun. DR1 is kind of... It shouldn't be too much. DR1 still has lots of mana, still has a full health bar, and CBL is just going to do a drive-by minion collection, pretty much.
And Killer Queen says, look, DNK, I know you think you're a good jungler here in the VCS, but I'm the only one who may invade the other junglers' camp. You stay in your jungle and you just accept the invades. And now Ariete looking towards the bottom lane, the Flame Chompers narrowly missing out on a rooting celebrity in place. And as a result, the Killer Queen will just make his way back over into his jungle and onto his fat grump.
But with all that said, is going to have a pretty decent jungle lead for himself. Going to be 2 camps ahead pretty much the entire time, and that's massive. That's going to give him a little bit of an access to some earlier items. Going to get him racing to those items, get that experience lead, so he can start to make plays with that kick. Now, but we're still just seeing Emperor bully this top lane. Nagia just cannot really get a look in. Even in a matchup, he should really be pushing a little bit harder. Perhaps not quite at this stage, but once that ultimate comes in, we've seen the all-in potential this Gnar has against the Gwen.
We have indeed, but Nagia at the moment, level 5, about to hit Mega Gnar. Does he want to jump in onto Emperor? Never mind, we're going to look away as Glory just runs away from DR1 as Diari hits level 6. That flash from Ariete. That timing was absolutely nutty from the Wales ADC.
Yeah, just found himself caught in the Gravitum queue and just manages to get out, find the ability to flash, finds that small window. Now Killer Queen's going to grab that first Drake? No, he's going to try and grab this 80 carry.
Abyssal Dive, Ariete has already
No.
fallen, and Killer Queen too late to the party. Celebrity will die. Killer Queen will be taking the spoils of war. It takes a while to get the kill, and Palette just going to try to freeze this wave.
Yeah, downside to the aggression of that Abyssal Dive is, as we actually hold that thought, is
DNK's
is
only
getting
level
away.
5, but is still stomping this. Nagia hit 6, chucks DNK into the wall, and picks up the solo kill.
Nah, baby, Nakia can do it too. He can punish an over-aggressive DNK for sure. And Killer Queen, he's not really wanting to take this red buff. DR1 has that priority. Palette is in the area, and we saw the early damage this Nautilus can sort of provide next to the Aphelios. When we saw this dive, left completely alone, just leaves Ariete to get blown up by the Aphelios, and they hand the kill off to Lee Sin. It's fine in the end, but it takes him a while to walk up there and do that.
Palette did a really good job, because as soon as CBL went in for the play, Palette just hooks onto Ariete and stops the Jinx from doing anything.
Absolutely. And then here, DNK just does not really respect the transformation, and the early damage coming out from Anar, those boulder tosses hurt, as we've seen some trading took place in the mid lane. Trading is going to keep going in the bot lane.
DNK is here. This is a full-on 3v3, three-man Moonlight Vigil, but it just does no damage at this point. Red and white guns. They are stacking up. Killer Queen flashing away, but they just can't get on top of Celebrity. As Zap the Heartbreaker, CBL is going to fall. Killer Queen will die as well, and it is a double kill for the SBTC ADC.
Doesn't do any damage because it's a white ultimate, and that means he gets all the chakrams, and that just deals so much damage over time. They can't do anything else, plus the resets from DNK, the Heartbreaker, the whole Viego Ignis. It's just, you can't get the follow-up kill, you can't get a second pick. Absolutely massive turnaround, because they just cannot kill Celebrity. They keep focusing Palette, and Palette has gone for the Aftershock, which means he's harder to kill. This is what I have been asking for ages from these supports. If you die, if you take longer to kill, they might not get your 80 carry. And just, it's actually SBTC starting this off with, but Killer Queen is just lurking in the roots, and they just want to kill Palette. But he took so little damage early on that he had just managed to survive so long. Because if he doesn't have Aftershock, he probably just dies into that first initial play, or gets so low he can't be a bait effectively, and that just sets up Celebrity so well to just clean up with this fight on these chakrams.
DNK didn't even have a level 6 in that fight as well. He does it now. He also has a Rift Herald, and that's going to be some gold that he gets to throw around. SBTC 1k gold up, but Marby, where would you like to see that Rift Herald being used?
I think bot lane is the very standard choice. And oh, here comes Palette.
Lucky Dredgelight onto CBL, but DR1 with a teleport in lands the Spirit Rusher Charm onto Glory, and it's another kill going to SBTC.
Now we're seeing the power of the CC coming out from this Nautilus. That's why he will never, ever truly go away. The setup is so good for the Ahri to convert, picks up that kill, controls his mid lane. DNK is not going to be here to convert that into a strong mid lane push or anything, but that's fine. I still want to see a bot lane with the Aphelios. You can clean up a tower so quickly. They've already got most of the plates off that bot lane, so it's just an easy cleanup. And then you can rotate him to the top lane. You can just try and pile on all the plates in the world. And yeah, just depth charge, charm, dead. As Killer Queen does his best with the shield, but it's too late. Too much damage coming out from this Ahri.
Funny thing is, if Glory had flashed in the other direction, he would have actually survived, because Palette was a little bit over-eager with the flash Q timing, but in the end, Glory practically flashes into DR1's charm, or DR1 waiting, and then it's just easy for the Ahri to get the charm there, but I guess hindsight is a wonderful thing. SBTC, though, now leading by 1.5 gold, and that's going to be ballooning even further as a Rift Herald dropped into the bottom lane, and this is going to be first tower as well, going into the hands of Celebrity.
Yep, first tower, easy to the Aphelios. They can push it up, but much more likely to just reset. They're going to try and get it as close to the tower as possible, I guess, but I wouldn't expect it to get the charge. Oh, but if Ariete is left on his own, Flash forced by the Heartbreaker, yeah, this charge will be coming out. It's not going to be enough to get a tower. There's not really a wave there alongside it, but that's a lot of damage dealt. That's a dragon pick up almost certainly. No, actually, Aphelios is going to reset, so gives an opening for a dragon to the side of Wales, but they don't care. They want to just try and rotate up this Aphelios and get more plates.
And we are 12 minutes into the game. First Drake still yet to be taken. And Nigia hasn't really got to the stage where he started bullying out Emperor in this matchup, which is what Emperor was doing to Nigia in the reverse matchup in game 1. And while I say that, Killer Queen able to secure that first Drake of the game.
Emperor playing it so much safer than Nigia was, though. It feels like not really contesting the wave, just letting it push under tower and staying as safe as possible. Now he's going to quickly back away.
I don't know what you're trying to say about that. Are you saying that Nigia is a Chad, or are you saying that Emperor is just smart?
Emperor is good at the game, is what I'm going to say. Emperor's been...
I like it.
Yeah, he knows how to press his advantage, he knows how to punish the mistakes, and he knows how to minimize his own, which is exactly what you want to do on this champion. Like, you will get strong as the Gwen eventually, you just can't really stand up to the Nara lane. So just minimize your laning, stay under that tower, try and clear the wave as quickly as you can before they can mine plates away, and
I do like that logic. I like that logic. You bad at laning? Just don't lane, Fivehead. Azir, are you bad in the early game? Just get to late game, Keck W.
That's what I do. That's what I do. I just don't lane.
You know, just open up the sidebar and press. What's that button in the practice tool? Fast forward 30 seconds. No, give yourself 10,000 gold, and there you go. Head back into lane against Steel One. See what that weak Ari can do against you.
Yeah, I'll press that. Give me that button, and I could possibly make diamond. Maybe, and probably not much higher. But,
I'm very worried if you could be full build from level 1 and only make diamond.
I have no hands. I am not good at this game.
It doesn't. I'm trying to think of a mid lane champion that you can play that just doesn't need hands. Like,
look, I know Annie exists. I know you can reach challenger with Annie.
Malzahar, or just play top lane. Imagine like just spamming Riven full build straight up into level 1.
Oh no! Look, I just play. Look, I'm a jungler, so I would probably just play Master Yi and be done with it.
Okay,
right
look, Marvin. I said you could be
busted,
busted, but not Master Yi full build level. That's too disgusting, even by my standards.
Oh, yeah, look. I mean, that is true. Look, Master Yi is an abomination, especially with the new updates. Whoever thought that was a good idea should not be allowed near a balanced patch ever again. But anyway, it's not looking good for Wales either, because Aphelios is 3-1, and he is looking very unbalanced at the moment. He has just been tearing apart Wales right now, and now Nigia can look for his revenge with the ultimate. But
he didn't get the double hop there. I don't know why Nigia doesn't get a double. Yeah. He jumped on like a whole wave of minions, so I'm surprised that he threaded the needle in some regard. But right now, Team Welsh is kind of sitting back. They are down 3,000 gold. We've got a Drake in 1.5 minutes. There is a Rift Herald up. But right now, they're kind of just sitting back, just trying to farm up, trying to get this Jinx to a strong stage in the game.
Yeah, they just wanna try and get as much gold as possible onto their carries. I'm still not sure which build I like the best out of the Zia. I've seen a lot of the Leandries into Demonic Embrace. I think that's pretty good right now. I think the burn effects are just really strong, but I mean, I guess it's lessened its effectiveness a little bit this game with DNK not actually building that tank Viego, going straight for the Kraken Slayer. So maybe the burst is necessary. I don't know.
I feel like
Overall-
Azir builds are always something that analysts just won't agree on. Whether it's build or whether it's like, oh, do you go Arcane Comet or like Lethal Tempo, or I don't know what other crazy stuff you can go. You can probably go like Hail of Blades or Airy. I don't know. There just feels like so much you could build on Azir.
He's a very interesting champion in terms of build diversity, but what we have now is full burst Azir can do a lot of poke from range with that Q Luden's proc. Plus, if he goes for that big all-in Shurima shuffle, he can knock up, maybe try and look to burst out DNK before he can actually get a reset going. So these are that's probably the thought process going through the head of Glory right now, but full control of objectives, especially on the top side for the side of SBTC, and bot lane's been caught, mid lane rather, has been caught napping. That's just going to be a charge, possibly even, definitely two. If they can break the second lane turret open, they're not going to, but
Teleport from the side, Nagia
Oh!
from behind, but Nagia doesn't find anyone in his ult, and surely this is going to be SBTC turning this around. Depth charge, Devour from CBL will keep Ariete alive. Good Shurima's shuffle, and the Aphelios has fallen, and Team Wells are looking for more. Killer Queen into the back. Heartbreak is going to be able to find a kill. Ariete, though, is excited, looking for Dia 1. Will be able to get the kill with a crit. DNK now jumping on to Ariete. Will be able to get the kill. It's a 2v2, but DNK is getting the resets. Nagia is low. Nagia has to run for his life, but Emper's going to be able to secure the kill. And now DNK just turns his attention towards the Tom Kedge and will surely get the kill. CBL flashing over the wall. DNK can't aggress any further.
It looked so good, but in the end, Viego got to Viego and just reset and be unstoppable. This champion needs to stop existing. This is not a fair. Like, I know the champion got to reset, pick up a lot of kills. Ariete did his damnedest. You're gonna see here, it all just feels a little bit fumbled as Nagia provides pretty much nothing to this fight, but Ariete, he's wailing in rockets. The big sweep up from Glory means Celebrity is removed instantly, but DNK gets to turn into Azir, provide that damage, turn into Lee Sin, collapse straight onto Jinx, and just keep moving forward. And there's nothing Ariete can do. He can pick up so many kills, but in the end, you have to deal with DNK, you have to deal with Viego, because otherwise he's just going to keep going, and you can't do anything about it.
And, I mean, Marby, I tend to steer away from flaming on players, but if Nagia lands an ult, if Nagia makes that flank work even slightly, that's Team Wales this fight, because I mean, it's just hands down, they just stomped that straight away.
Yeah, it definitely feels like if he landed anything, it would have been a much cleaner setup. Glory possibly wouldn't have had to go all in for that aggression just to basically start off the fight again, because they had the false start of Nagia missing everything. So it definitely could have been a good turnaround, could have been something to bring it back together, but in the end we just saw if DNK gets to reset, DNK gets to Viego, and Ari is going to get a little bit donked.
Over the wall goes Killer Queen. Abyssal dive lands onto Dia 1, and CBL will get the kill onto the Ari. Ariete shows up as well, and Palette will fall. 2 kills going the way of Team Wales, and there is a Baron Nashor standing and awaiting Team Wales.
Yeah, this is a huge opportunity now. There's a lot of damage available for the side of SBTC, but I think Wales are mostly just looking for the turn. Gonna try and find DNK because he can always enter. Actually, no Heartbreaker. They have to kill him.
Killer Queen goes in, and the Baron is secured by Ariete. SBTC will get 1 kill. Emperor over the wall. Killer Queen chasing, so it's Glory. But Ariete finds another kill, and it is only Emperor left standing. But for how much longer? Dia 1 is teleporting in, but this might just be 2 kills going the way of Team Wales. Dia 1 escorting Emperor out to safety.
Yeah, that's it. That's a Baron on 4 members. A few more kills. It's 10 kills apiece. a dragon apiece, and now the gold is 100 to 200k apart. And now this Baron is going to blow this open. It feels like it has to. There's more standing gold on the map for Wales to work with. This can be it. This could be bringing them right back into the game after some fantastic picks from Glory and Killer Queen.
And this is the game right now of Team Wales looking for picks. If they find those picks and they get that number advantage, they're set for fights. And you look at both compositions. Team Wales, they've got a Jinx. SBTC, they've got a Viego. Whichever team gets those resets first are going to be so much stronger for those all-in 5v5 fights.
It feels like that for sure. And again, I mean, we have to say that finding those picks, finding those number advantages was huge. But notably, I feel like no DNK was important, because if any kill goes down there, if you lose a kill and DNK goes down and gets that reset going, it's hard to stop. If Jinx gets a reset going, she's just a little bit faster. She doesn't have iframes. She doesn't jump all over the place very quickly. So you need to play a little bit more careful around these fights if you're Team Wales. Now, they have the split push going on the top side, so that's going to be some gold coming in from Nagia. They don't want to push too aggressively, and this wave clear is strong from the side of SE, so they can control this numbers advantage push, actually get the shove against the Baron.
And this isn't what we saw in Game 2 from SBTC, because when the SBTC were on the back foot in Game 2, we didn't know how they could deal with wave clear. Here in Game 3, though, with the Ahri as well as the Aphelios, they can deal with these Baron-empowered minions much more effectively.
The wave is also being conceded a little bit by Team Wales now. It is going to be this third dragon. It's not the end of the world for Wales. They don't need to contest it, but they need to find something. So far, they've really only gotten that one dragon out, and now a bit of a poke in from DNK. Can't find the connection on that stun, but no response either. Mostly I think just looking for Nagia to try and build up that Naba, make him feel comfortable and ready for a fight, actually be able to have an influence this time. They found a lot of damage onto DNK.
Oh, Mega Death Rocket doing a lot of work. Nagia transforms. Good Charmer landing. Nagia going in onto Tier 1 forces the Spirit Rush defensively, but Team Wales continue to siege. Emperor trying to do work, has used the needle work. A Summon Tower dropped down as well. So much damage from the Orb of Deception.
What?
Oh my Vigil. And Team Wales are forced back massively. Celebrity once more lands the moonshot, looking for Killer Queen, not quite enough damage. Team Wales are forced away, and SBTC have a Drake for the taking.
They had so many opportunities for Nagia to flash and get a decent ultimate, at least find a pick, but he just knocks Emperor forward and doesn't do anything with it. I'm losing my mind. This Gnar is night and day different to Game 1, and it's just... I can see the opportunities, I can feel it for Team Wales, but they're just playing so cagey. Their top laner refuses to make that risk.
Can someone watching the stream right now make the Drake meme format and just have Nagia's Gnar with Drake shaking his head, and then have Emperor's Gnar with Drake nodding his head? If you could do that, tag me on Twitter as well. That would be wonderful. But let's take a look at this game state. Practically no goal between the teams. Very even on kills. Drake's 2-1. Still a long way to go before we get to Soul, let alone Elder, considering that the last Drake was just taken. So we're back to this stalemate situation where both teams are just kind of wandering the map, just throwing waves to each other and searching for picks.
Yeah, and really just not being able to utilize sideways. They got one tower off of that Baron. It just feels like this Wales are not able to really utilize this. These are objectives to their maximum advantage, mostly just looking for them as venues to set up fights, and so we're just gonna have to be stuck here for another minute or so, waiting for this Baron to set up again. Now SBTC are in the area this time first, and there's no dragon to bait them out and lead them into a bad position, so we're gonna have to look for them to... So if we're looking for Wales to try and get a repeat, they're gonna have to look for something like this.
And they do exactly that. They find DNK. They get the kick. They get the kill. And Killer Queen is not done yet. He's looking at Palette. He's looking at Dia 1, but he has to be careful. There's a lot of damage from the RE. 2 kills. And the Moonlight Vigil from Celebrity finds no one. Team Wales, they get the kills they need. But there aren't any objectives up just yet. They've got 13 seconds to wait for the Baron Nash to spawn.
36 to wait for Baron, but Emperor may have overreached. His Gwen has that ghost, so can run away if necessary. But with this but by cutting the wave, they stop the push as well. So Emperor's not going to be able to trade that for a tower. But now can they play into this dragon? They have a lot of AOE damage again. Red and blue. This could be disaster in the pit for Team Wales.
No Moonlight Vigil available. Emperor can't go in. Nikki again misses the ult. And this time it's onto Celebrity, but it's a lone ADC. And Celebrity will not be able to 1v4. Meanwhile, Killer Queen just trying to duel on Dia 1. Gets the ult back up, kicks Dia 1 over the wall, goes back in, exhausted. Team Wales have got the kill onto Celebrity, but they look for no more. And they will just make their retreat with the second Baron of the game being secured in their favor.
Yeah, the backs have come through. The respawn times have come through. Again, yeah, Nagia missing that ult, but it does enough to keep Celebrity isolated. They do run him down, so another Baron, another pick. Small advantages every time for Wales. Can they piece it together? Can they crack it open to a big one? This is gonna be a big push this time. They have to really make this one stick. They have a little bit of time left as well, and Killer Queen, he uses Palette as a delivery system to get him to DNK. That's what you love to see. And then tries again. Can't quite get onto DO1, but can cut off Palette. And with that, that's two big engage points, 2 big power points from the side of SBTC's teamfight removed off the map, and that's what they use to turn into the Baron control. Now they're going to use this Baron to hopefully push this mid wave and possibly just control this dragon and take us to 4 dragons, 2 apiece.
This time the engages, finds DNK jumping forward, locks down DNK, and Team Wales are able to follow up. 1 kill going the way of Wales, and now they're looking for Emperor. Needlework doing so much damage, but surely not enough. He goes Flory with the Shurima shuffle. 2 more kills for the Wales. Celebrity taken down in a heartbeat, and it is only Dia 1 left standing, and Killer Queen wants the kill. He whiffs the Q. Will he whiff the kill? I think Dia 1 might be able to get out of it. The final Sonic Wave does not land, but it does not matter. Team Wales will siege into the mid lane, and SBTC are undefeated no longer.
Well, we ruined the narrative for next week's Friday, but they saved the Wales today. They come out swinging hard. They find massive team fights, and they take down what was looking like the best team in the league after bouncing back from a horrible week 2.
It was a disastrous week 2 for Wales, but they have bounced back so well. I mean, you look at Wales, 2-1 loss to Team Secret. Okay, not terrible. And the other one was a 2-0 loss to Genius, which was the real shocker, but really well bouncing back. I think, though, there is still that weak link. Nagia needs to sort out some of the plays, but aside from that, Glory, Killer Queen, Ariete, all of them playing really well. CBL as well.
Yeah, I mean, Killer Queen on Lee Sin is just a fantastic player. Cannot look past him. He looks so damn good on this champion. And even off that Lee Sin on that Sin Sound game 1, he still put in a damn fantastic effort. Overall, just, yeah, impressed with the bot side of this team, jungle through bot, and just if they can shore up the weakness top side, they can make a decent shot at playoffs, make a decent shot at the run for Worlds, perhaps. But, I mean, this is a big statement coming out from them.
Yeah, fantastic performance from them. However, that is our first series drawing to a close. We're going to be having our second series of the day shortly after. ASE Esports taking on Team Secret. And, well, I was thinking of how I could end this. This is a whale. And sadly, for SBTC, it's called Wales, okay? The box says Wales. Maybe it says shark. I don't know, but you can't tell that it's a fish, not a mammal. Either way, They didn't get eaten, but I do get to eat them. We're going to a break. We'll see you in a bit for our second series. Hello, everyone, and welcome back as we are getting ready to head on into our second series of the day. As you might be able to see, I've had a bit of a switch. Marby is out, Tim is in. Tim, you are producing. You still are producing as well. And we have ASE Esports taking on Team Secret, the team that you famously said would not win a single game and would go 0-14 over the split, and probably 0-28. Wait, I can't hear.
Yeah, now you should be. Insane. Okay, so I said they would go 0-14. I gave them 2 or 3 wins in games, you know? Like, they get 2 or 3 games. One could be today because, famously, Team Secret cannot win 2-0.
True. Every single series so far has been 2-1 from Team Secret. I'm just want to quickly double check this. They played Cerberus, they've played Genius, they've played Saigon Buffalo, they've played Team Wales, all 2-1. They've got SBTC left, which is happening next week on Friday, if you didn't already know. No longer the Clash of Kings because SBTC have dropped a game. We saw that earlier on today against Team Wales. And they also have a GAM to play, which is in a couple of days' time on Sunday morning. So I would say let's start with ASE Esports, but let's not do that because I want to start on a more positive note. We'll start talking about Team Secret because they have still been ramping up, I feel. You know, they started with this new roster at the start of spring. They got better and better and better. They almost beat Saigon Buffalo in playoffs. They ended up losing 3-2, so missed out on going to MSI. But they've started summer in fantastic form.
Yeah, they've looked really great throughout the first parts, but I mean, they have looked great in some games, and in others they have not looked great. Like, for example, the loss to Team Wales in Game 2 was absolutely unnecessary. Really good Game 1, really good Game 3, abysmal Game 2. And I think that is the move to fix now, is that you consistently are able to actually compete with every team, and then make sure that you're also 2-0ing the teams that you should be 2-0ing, like Wales. I mean, they beat SBTC, but it should have been in 2-0 considering how the other 2 games went, and then also, of course, today. And what better team to start than AS?
Now, I'm a big fan of having conspiracy theories, you know, trying to stir up some drama. So my conspiracy theory is that Team Secret just want 3 games against every team, you know, so that they get a maximum prep time, as much stage time as possible, you know. They can push out their sponsors even more, so it all comes together. So that's my theory. So I personally think this is going to be a Secret 2-1 win over ASE Esports.
I don't. I think this is going to be 2-0. I believe AS is abysmal on basically every position. They should be absolutely gapped on every position. Top to bot, it should be a running disaster for them. And I mean, if you ask me what AS win condition is, I couldn't tell you one, except for the simple win condition of can Secret run it down?
He's blowing up.
No. Can Secret run it down enough to give them a win condition? You know, that is what I'm looking at as a win condition. And when your best win condition is your enemy is running it down massively and they can't win 2-0, then yeah, that's not a great win condition, mate.
So if anyone is tuning in now, you missed the good series where, you know, we had more of a serious vibe over that for SBTC against Wales. It went to 3 games. Now this is the fun part of the broadcast. ASE Esports against Team Secret. We are heading on into picks and bans. I do want to say one slight positive for ASE Esports. They've subbed out 2T a while back. They brought in Playcool. I feel like Playcool has been much better, but he's going against Artifact, who, in my opinion, was the best mid laner from spring and is looking to be the best mid laner in summer as well.
Yeah, especially against Glory, who of course had such a huge impact in the last series. He looked really good in the series against Whale himself, so I think that is something to be aware of. I think both of them were kind of contesting as one as 2 of the best mid laners last season, or last split. So I think that is it. And going into draft, we have Nocturne and Silas banned on the blue side, and now Lucian and Kalista. So the aggressive bot lane options, the flippy options is being taken out. Secret saying, you can play your scaling picks, you can play maybe a Senna. We don't care, as long as you can't snowball us, we win.
And Team Secret have been very good when it comes to team fights, and if they can take away that kind of coin flippy playstyle from the side of ASE Esports, or that coin flip chance of AS Esports to get an early lead and run away with the game, then they should be looking solid. And for now, they're taking away those early game bottom laners from the side of AS Esports. We'll see what the final ban is and what AS want to take themselves. We've seen a lot of Gnar today so far, though, Tim.
Yeah, and I believe if he isn't banned, we should see 2 to 3 more games of Gnar, and that's something I really like here. Basically, taking out the Tahm Kench, making sure that Aphelios, Jinx, and Senna don't have that champion, because right now you have Jinx, Aphelios, and Senna who all like Tahm Kench, and then you have actually the Renata for the other two. So you could answer with Aphelios and Renata here as an answer on the Volibear, and that would be something that is really good, because specifically Renata into Volibear is just a great matchup. It's so easy for you to peel off that bear, and we're still on 12.12, so Volibear isn't dead yet, but he is gonna be dead soon, and it's gonna be a happy day, because I believe Volibear is just applied for the game and should be removed as soon as possible.
There's a lot of champions that I feel should be removed. I think we were talking about the Silas with the Kingslayer. We talked about the Viego, which is now being hovered and locked in for Team Secret and Penguin, to be more precise. But you talked about how good that Renata is, and so how back in spring was one of the champions who was so willing to play the Renata. Now, do AS Esports lock it in? It is a Draven.
I mean, AS, Lucian and Kalista banned out, and they probably take the biggest coin flip you can take on bot lane. Like, Draven Pyke is feast or famine. Either you go 10-0 or you go 0-10. There's nothing in between, especially when you're the worst players. There is a chance to just flip really high and just stomp them in the ground. But, like, it's not gonna be easy, and then you have probably one of the most stable bot lanes, one of the strongest bot lanes against you, and you really have to see how you compete against that secret bot lane.
Draven and Pyke. This is the 5th Pyke game of the split. I've been kind of counting it up. Now we're seeing Xin playing the Pyke. So far, I think we're on a 0% Pyke win rate. It
that's
never
also
seems.
right.
It's the hooks just have not been landing whenever we see the Pyke being locked in.
I mean, Pyke also has been used wrong, I feel like, because Pyke has been used as a Renata counter, which yes, he's able to do, but like, I like this Pyke usage, because this Pyke usage is exactly the usage you want. It's basically going over and saying, well, we're gonna stomp you 10-0. If we go 0-10, doesn't matter, because if Pyke goes even out of lane, which often has just happened, where Pyke's just even in mid game, he is useless. He doesn't bring any engage, he doesn't bring any front loaded damage. All he does is an execute in the back end in those team fights, and he's not really useful for that. So I think if you want to use him, you have to use him with champions like Draven and just flip the entire game on the first 10 minutes.
I guess we are flipping. A lot of mid lane bans coming through in the second phase. Team Secret taking away the LeBlanc and Lissandra. AS Esports taking away the Ahri and the Tilia from Artifact.
Yeah, and again, good bans here just by Team Secret, making sure that Lissandra and LeBlanc, those two early aggressive mid laners that can really get prio and then move into those side lanes, help out the Draven and the Pyke, have both been taken out. And now with the Gnar blind pick, you have just a very strong blind pick on top lane. You basically take away the option for Volibear to flex into top lane as well, because Volibear into Gnar, well, that's not the matchup you want to play, and that now means we have to see what the answer is going to be. You could go Gangplank if you want to have some late game weak side potential here out of ASE. Something I would really like, because you will be playing into bot lane. I mean, if you're not playing into bot lane, then report it, go next.
Well, Gnar into the top lane. I would love to see the Aurelia, but we never get the Aurelia. Tim.
Yeah.
Have you seen who's playing top lane?
What?
Yeah,
No.
it's 2T. What's happened to LLT?
I mean, he was bad, but I wouldn't have considered 2T to be better. I guess we just... I mean, I'm really getting Team Flash vibes over here with this.
God. Well, they're looking like they're going to be getting demoted this split anyway. I shouldn't have said that this early, but they've not been looking good. Please lock in the Zoe artifact. Do it. Do it for Papa Milkus.
No. Papa Milkus does not get the Zoe, but... Okay, so first of all, we have the Ryze mid lane as a blind pick, which... Play cool. Why? Like, you just don't want to win. Blind pick Ryze is just always bad. Good answer with Azir. I mean... AS put everything in the We Snowball Your Draven basket. You have good potential, good lockdown in the early game. Ryze, of course, brings that ulti with him to roam bot lane and to have some impact. But getting priority against Artifact without jungle help is gonna be tricky. And Team Secret has so much better draft. I mean, we have to see the first 15 minutes really. If you have like 3 kills, 4 kills on this Draven, AS is up about 5k gold in the first 15 minutes, they have a chance. If that isn't the case, GG, go next. We have a quick game and then we move on.
Yeah. Could you do me a favor, Tim, and could you bring the camera back up? Because, or the cameras, I should say, because AS Esports, they've gone for a Draven, they've gone for a Pike, and I guess in this game, we're flipping, boys. Okay, yeah, that's all I wanted to do. We can go back to the game.
I just want to go, man. Like, you're playing with fire because that's something that I do. Like, you can ask Yuki. I have been known to leave streams if the jokes are getting too bad.
Okay, I probably shouldn't do that considering that you're producing as well.
Yeah,
that's a big issue right now.
It could be, but we're going into game number 1, the turbo flip from AS to bring us into the series. And Milky, are you excited?
See, I want to say no, but we've got a Draven and Pike, so yes, I am actually excited because I want to see how hard this is going to win or flop against, obviously, my favorite ADC, Eddie, as a president of the Eddie fan club. Yeah, so, you know, as president, I am legally obliged to say that Eddie's going to hard curb stomp this lane, but that may not happen from my neutral caster perspective.
Yeah, and something to keep in mind that Eddie and Zuhao have been actually struggling in that bot lane. They were struggling against Wales before, in that 2v2 specifically, so they are probably most attackable part of Team Secret at the moment. I'm not saying they're bad by any means, but they're just worse than the other players, which right now is a pretty high bar to reach. Blasphemy. But so I think there is a chance, but I've seen this before. 2 Pike picks, and all I'm hoping for is that AS tactic goes beyond what GE did, because they picked Pike, they got ahead, and then their strategy was press Q, run at enemy, hit Q, or lose. And I want to see AS have a strategy behind this, because I can't take another game versus GE. I lost my mind in the last one. I don't want to see it again.
Okay. I've got a question for you. So we're going to be playing one of Milky's mini games, and the mini game this time is: will 2T reach level 16 as Kayle?
Well, he shouldn't, because I believe that either his team has won by level 16 or his team has lost by level 16. He might reach it. I'm pretty certain it won't have an impact on the game, because I think if he hits level 16, the game is over anyways. For his team, kinda. Because, well, the range disadvantage is really hard, and yes, Kayle level 16 is always something to be scared of, but you have such good range on the other side with the Azir, with the Aphelios, that I don't even think that Kayle has too much of a chance to do anything, even if she hits level 16, so I don't think it will make an impact.
Okay. Well, let's see whether Kayle can get to level 16. Right now, Hero is not letting 2T get many minions in lane, just bullying out the Kayle as much as possible with that range advantage currently. An Artifact, we do know that Azir has a little bit too much range at the start of the game and can bully out quite a lot of mid laners despite being a very late game dominant champion.
Yeah, and something very interesting with Artifact's rune choices here is that he's actually gone for the Conqueror, so he's probably more of a DPS Azir in the later stages, which I really like, because you don't have to stomp lane, you're gonna win lane anyway, so having a lane rune for you doesn't really matter, and then with Conqueror you just have the potential to really run over the later stages of the game, especially if you go a bit off attack speed. So that's something I really like seeing from him, going for those later fights, because if you get there you auto win and the other runes won't change you getting there.
I just saw a message from Beast, and even by my pun standards, that is bad, Beast. I refuse to say that one on broadcast. You should go home and rethink your life. There we go. Star Wars reference done for the day. Meanwhile, back to the game then. We're seeing here looking towards this bottom lane, looking for a dive. Doesn't have a level 6, so can't disable that tower.
Yeah, and Uzi is already pretty low. I only now realize that AS AD carry is literally discount Uzi. TP is now coming in from the Gnar. And saves the play.
Very early TP.
Yeah, but it stops the play, and especially mid lane doesn't have the time to stay around for another one. Jungle doesn't really either. And the Gnar doesn't lose anything because the wave was already pushed in. He just TPs down, moves back, and he would have walked to lane anyway, so it really doesn't change anything. But him losing the TP, so I think it was a really good play. Also really nicely set up from Hero. The other one of the duo from SBTC, right? Emperor and Hero, those were the two where we couldn't really agree who was worse. And now they're really dominating top lane. And again, he shows with good CS and a great play to save bot lane, what he can do.
I do remember having that discussion about Hero and Emperor. I remember actually back when they were both on SBTC. And it was no, sorry, it was when they were both on Team Secret, I believe. And
No,
Artifact
they were both on SBTC, no?
Oh yeah, they were both on SBTC. Artifact was a mid laner, and Artifact didn't get any game time, and Hero and Emperor just rotated between playing top lane and mid. Hero, I think, got mostly mid. And I just remember being in pain that Artifact couldn't get any game time, because he had like one game where his team like sprinted him down, and then his team were like, no, we're not letting you play anymore.
Yeah, that was the great Hero set mid lane that dominated actually for a few weeks before it then fell off heavily. Hero now is around top lane. He's looking for the Gnar, but Gnar is actually going mega and he has ultimate.
Hero does not land the W. Hero, though, will be able to land the Sky Splitter. Then Hero shoves Hero away from him and retreats back to the relative safety of his tower.
Yeah, and if he was here to actually just cover the Gnar and make sure the level 6 couldn't be used, good play from him. If he was looking for a gank, then meh, not sure. But Kayle has ultimate, so dive is possible onto Hero. They want to look for it, and they're looking for plating for now. So again, they're playing very heavily towards the side lanes, just moving the Volibear side to side. And meanwhile, Vego's just farming up, but he doesn't really have a farm lead. So far, Hero just having more impact on the map.
And Hero having lost a little bit of his family when he had to teleport towards the bottom lane. For now, though, not big leads for AS Esports. They've just got that small lead towards the bottom side, which is somewhat expected when you're playing Draven Pike into Aphelios Renata, 10 CS lead for Uzi.
In this moving mid lane, Artifact has to be careful.
Oh, that is a weird interaction. I don't know what I saw, but it was a hook into a Shurima shuffled, and the mid laner and the support went flying all over the map.
Yeah, don't ask me about that one. I think you you said pretty rightly what happened there, but Zin was actually spotted, so just a small misplay from Artifact. Playing towards bot side there, his jungler was top side, and we are diving bot lane.
We are diving into the bottom lane. Eddie will fall. It is first blood going to Uzi, but one pulled back for Zhu Hao, looking for Zin, but not going to be able to get close enough in here on play call. We'll just look to run the Renata down, and it is an easy second kill for AS.
Yeah, and specifically, First Blood went to the Draven, so his first reset is secured, and he's moving towards a normal item build that we often see, Serrated Dirk into a Sense Reaver, and then you can go for your Collector later on. Or just leave the Serrated Dirk. I've seen literally Draven players buy Serrated Dirk first, then build Armor Penetration, not the Collector, and then just sell Serrated Dirk later on in the game. So we could be seeing this in this game as well, because you have decent frontline. You got Penguin. Oh no, Hio got the smite. FF.
Run, Penguin, run! Let your little feet waddle you out. Here, level 6. Penguin, sadly, does not win the smite fight, and here we'll just start up on the Rift Herald. But AS have the lead, but this is what we expected. They have the Draven Pike. They have to get this lead early, otherwise things look very sketchy for them.
Yeah, but here, now getting the Herald, them not really prioritizing the first Drake, I really like that, because Drake isn't exactly a win condition for you. For you want to build up a huge gold lead first, and now Hero is in trouble.
Poor Hero. Twice he goes in onto 2T, and both times Hero shows up. Hero has the ult, sends away the Volibear, but Volibear ults forward. Hero on the run. Hero, can he go in for this play? No, surely not. And Hero will survive.
Yeah, a good play there again to punish Hero's aggression, but then maybe a step too far with 2T's flash expended and the kill not secured. And Penguin this time on the other side is again trying to get a buff away from this play. And this time there's nobody there to smite it away, and he smites on 900 HP, not risking anything again. Meanwhile, top lane turret I think is falling, and the first turret funneled into this Kayle could really set her apart. I told you, she might not make a difference. If Kayle gets ahead together with a Draven who's already in a good position, that might just be game winning.
Something that I do want to bring up, because I very often hear this being talked about by analysts, is taking the first tower too early and then extending this top lane. Do you think this is going to put 2T into a situation where Penguin and Hero can abuse the early game Kayle?
I mean, they can abuse the Kayle. I don't think it matters too much here. I think that the worst part is really if Hero gets to freeze the wave up top, so you might have to send the Volibear up there now and again to just push out the wave, make sure it crashes, so you have a bounce back, and Kayle just can run around the map in the meantime and just do things on the map. Because it is technically a problem if VCS decided to not fight when Kayle is on the map and Gnar isn't, but it's the VCS. So there are going to be fights.
We're always going to get fights.
And
this is ASE Esports as well.
Yeah, and you also have a very strong bot lane and a good roaming mid lane, so you can always force plays on the map, and 2T can now be involved in that. But as long as Gnar is freezing up here, he has to really overextend, that is true.
Something else we should talk about is something that we did see in the previous series when SBTC faced off against Team Wales, which was having the Taliyah mid and having that roaming potential from Taliyah. We're in a somewhat similar situation here in game 1 of our second series of the day, where Playcool has this rights, has the Realm Warp to be able to make plays around with Hero's Volibear, either on top or bottom side. And unlike that SBTC series, Artifact is not playing Silas, so it doesn't have the hijack potential. And now, oh, this is just a dirty collapse onto Artifact. Almost survives, but the death from below will secure the kill for ASE Esports.
And there we also see the advantage. 2T is here with the play, so it's a 4-man play, even though Draven can't join because of bot priority, and that's what you can do when the Gnar is freezing the wave. Now he can just move top, get the wave, so he is safe so far, and just a good play and good dive so far. I mean, ASE Esports have dove, I think, 3 times already during the first 11 minutes and have themselves a good gold lead. And they might just snowball the game. It's not enough yet, I would say, that they're safe, but a lot of the gold leads should also be on 2T, which is a very good target to have it on, just because he, of course, skates better than a Draven.
Now, I've got a question, but I kind of know the answer to this. Where was this ASE Esports for the rest of the split?
I wouldn't ask that yet, because...
Okay. There's a long way to go in this.
They've basically drafted good lanes on every position. I mean, not really in mid lane, so Playcool has actually performed better than I expected. Getting priority, moving a lot around the map. But, like, especially bot lane is... You have to be really, really, really bad to not be able to get something here. And I think if AS had a better bot lane, this is easily solo killable. So, like, them not getting any leads on their own is actually a minus for me.
Okay, I've got it. See, right now, I'm putting this down to, you know, Team Secret. They need that imp game. Usually they do it in game 2, I think. But maybe now it's in game 1 as ASE Esports get another kill, this time onto Zuhao in the bottom lane. And I have a feeling Eddie's going to fall. This teleport from Hero is not going to keep him alive. Eddie desperately trying to get the kill onto Hero, who just goes golden in the Rune Prison, locks him in place. Hero wants that kill onto Hero, but the Sky Splitter will be able to give Hero enough of a shield to survive.
Yeah, and we see that Draven... Wait, does Draven get his cash in with Pyke ulti? Because he has his cash in, he only has 4 stacks, so he got a cash in, but I don't think he got a kill, did he? Or did he get the first one with ulti? We have to see that again.
Look at the replay.
Yeah, so first, it's just good collapse. Again, the Rise is really paying off in spades here with the ultimate, and then, yeah, it's the first one to Hero, and I think the second one was Pyke ulted. Maybe it was the Pyke ult interaction where if the target dies while you ult, you still get the Pyke ulti? No. He just gets his cash in.
yeah, there you go. Pike ult gives Draven his cash in.
Wait, that's broken.
I mean, let's be honest, the Pike ult interactions have always been broken, even though they nerfed
That
it
is
a bit,
true.
so he doesn't give shutdowns anymore with his ultimate execution.
That is true. And he doesn't himself get double gold anymore, which was, yeah.
Oh, it was a double goal that they changed.
Yeah, he basically, like, if he killed somebody, he would get the 300 gold and his gold stacks as well. Which was a bit weird. But anyways, that now means that Draven is actually in a huge position. I mean, look at the gold this man has. He has nearly 2 items in 14 minutes. And now we're at the point where we have 4.5k gold lead. We're at the point where AS is in a winning position. They needed this gold lead, but now they are in a good position to just contest Drakes and take the rest of the Drakes and basically free scale this game.
And Team Secret, in the drafting phase, they banned away the Kalista, they banned away the Lucian, they tried to take away the early game ADCs from AS Esports, but Uzi has found himself an early game ADC nonetheless, and it is working well for the side of AS Esports. Team Secret find themselves in a tricky situation, with the second Drake of the game up and available. In goes Hero, he finds the ult onto Playcool. Can they get the kill? Moonlight Vigil doesn't land onto anyone because Playcool goes a golden, but out comes the ultimate, the Renata ultimate, and now AS Esports just turning this around. Good Emperor's Divide, but instant ult from Hero will take him out to safety. Either way, still a 1-for-1. Penguin steals the soul now, looking for 2T, but it will just be 1 kill for both teams, and Team Secret can't find anything more.
Yeah, and with a jungler that should be an easy Drake take as well for Team Secret, and that's what you don't want to see on AS's side. They must win those team fights, and they just can't in the end. It isn't enough to kill anybody. The damage isn't here yet. Draven needs his second item before he can really do something, and on the other hand, the range really came into factor here, just being able to not really get hit on any significant targets by the Draven.
And the fact that Team Secret are able to come out of a fight even, in fact, winning it slightly, considering that they were able to take the Drake after it, despite having that large gold deficit, is a very worrying sign for AS Esports. So, talking about that range advantage that Team Secret have, do AS Esports just need to be quicker on the trigger to start these fights?
I mean, specifically the Volibear should be there in the fights because he is the most offensive weapon they have, right? Sending him in is very good, but he doesn't have an easy job. I think overall AS's team comp really has an issue with engaging, so they have to be first on objective, where we see here again how the fight developed, and it's just, they have to wait out this Mega now, man. It's just so strong. They have to use so many resources to keep Playcool alive. And yeah, now we see how nobody's really able to hit here, while the Volibear is just getting ulted in.
To be honest, I thought after AS survived that initial engage, I thought they 100% had the fight, but in the end, Hero ended up dying. Even though he tried to Volibear ult his way out to safety. Hero, though, has to be careful, because Zin is hovering, and so is Hero. But it should be safe.
Hero's also going for a really weird item build, one that I haven't seen. I guess he's going Titanic Hydra Sunfire or something, or Chemtech, or what the hell? What is he going?
He's looking for more tankiness then to try to frontline. 2T. Well, whatever that item build is, it kind of worked against 2T somehow.
I'm not sure. 2T didn't have ultimate. Looked like he was just ulted on the turret and died or something. Maybe we see replay. I mean, it was so surprising that not even our spectators could catch it. Which... What? I mean, another bot dive. Another dive for AS. An artifact.
Artifact does have ultimate available. Will use it. Playcool takes a tower shot incredibly low. Flashing out of the Stormbringer. Death from below. Not enough to get the kill. Can Artifact outplay this? He can. He gets 1 kill. Zin's gonna die as well. 2 kills for Artifact, and he gets the shutdown.
Yeah, I mean, on both sides of the map, the solo laners just come up huge. And here we again see how 2T died. And yeah, he just probably jumps forward, ultimate into turret, and then it's free kill. Whoop, whoop. Yeah, I mean... That's just depressing, man. Like, this is something that should happen to you, like, when you're a silver player, you know? This happens. When you're a platinum player, this may happen. When you're a diamond player, this shouldn't happen. And when you're playing in the VCS, this is intentional griefing. You know, like, there are steps to be taken here. Maybe put the top laner back into top lane, not 2T. I mean,
sometimes, to be fair, sometimes, and I'm not like defending 2T entirely, but sometimes people forget just how short the Gnar ult cooldown is. So I'm not sure if Hero got that ult just off cooldown and 2T thought, you know, it wasn't available, but maybe. I don't know. I'm trying to give him benefit of the doubt. It's really hard to him.
Maybe you shouldn't put out your underperforming top laner for your underperforming mid laner, you know? Like, that doesn't sound like a smart idea. I mean, you benched your mid laner because he was griefing you, and now you're putting him into top lane. I mean, yeah, whatever. We still have Uzi, of course, on his Draven. Now has 3 items finished at 19 minutes, and that's kind of what Draven does when he snowballs, and now he's really in position to carry teamfights. Has a rapid fire cannon as well to give him a bit more range, and together basically with a Sentry River he takes off half HP of any target that he hits at this point. And we really have to see, and they're brute forcing mid, and I really like this. They just want to have their lead now.
Well, that's going to be the inner tower falling a teleport. And the Renata ult does not land onto anyone. Lots of teleports there coming in. One from each team. Penguin trying to back away as Play Cool shows up. Oh, it's a big 3-man Everfrost. And Hero jumping in on top with the Volley Bear ultimate. And Eddie will survive. The Renata W keeps him alive. Death from below. Penguin's going to find one. And out comes the Moonlight Vigil. Lands onto Play Cool. And ASE Esports are getting wiped off the face of the map. Artifact is just looking for Hero. It's a triple kill for Penguin. An Artifact sliding his way forward, desperately trying to kill the Volley Bear, but won't be able to do so. Team Secret with 4 kills for 1, and Team Secret will be getting the Baron Nashor as well.
And you know how you asked me where the Team AS was for the entirety of the season? There it is, my dude. Yeah. There it is. And then I literally told you, let's see how they play team fights. All they should have done is run out. If Hero gets caught, he just ults out, you know? He's safe. Like, that's a Volley Bear. He's not dying. He had an ultimate up. He had flash up. Just take the Hero's TP for free. Walk out. You got a mid lane tier 2, mid lane tier 1, and a TP. And just be happy. Play for Drake, man. Like, why are you fighting like that? They had such a good game, and now they're just griefing it away. And now, I mean, we're at the point where I'm saying game over. Like, I think if Team Secret doesn't do any major mistakes anymore, the game's already done. Like, that's how volatile this AS team comp is that you lose one team fight and the game is immediately done.
Well, Team Secret, they try to nullify their disadvantages in the early game, and then AS Esports just over-aggressive.
I mean, like look at this. Like, there's no reason for you to TP. Hoyo can just walk out, and then it looks good for a second there, but then you realize that... Yeah, I mean, but then you realize that Eddie gets a free reset because your support is griefing into backline.
Yeah, but why didn't Xin just Like, that was 3 instant kills with the death from below, right?
Yeah, but he didn't get a reset. He R'd in and didn't get a reset.
Oh. Like, if that lands, that is a free fight 1 for AS Esports, because the setup was perfect. Hero, though, getting a kill on to Play Cool.
Yeah, but Renata exists. Like, you're not getting resets on your support, right? Like, you're
is that why?
Yeah, that's why. Like, he killed Eddie, but Eddie survived with Renata. You're not getting the reset, then Eddie just kills you, and then, yeah, GG will fight.
I thought Pyke was meant to be the counter for Renata. Oh, dearie me. Zuhao, I think, might burn to death. One more tick of an ignite. No, Zuhao survives. And Team Secret are looking to end this game. Onto the inhibitor now. Big Emperor's Divide onto 3 members here. Will ult his way out to safety. 2T falls. Uzi will fall as well. The inhibitor falls. Team Secret are just taking everything. We're only 22 minutes into this game. And despite AS having the early game team composition with that Draven Pyke, they are the ones who are losing just over 20 minutes. One final Nexus Tower stands. The amount of damage being put out by artifacts and soldiers is disgusting. Xin does not have the death from below available. Team Secret could look to end, but they're going to play it safe. They're going to back away.
Because I saw that in chat as well, we're gonna have a discussion after the game. I'm putting that off for now. Who's worse, Xin or Biop? Because I think that's a really important discussion. Who should be banned from playing Pyke in the future? And like, I asked if AS had any game plan. BOB, yeah. If AS had any game plan but press Q, go in, kill enemy. They had a game plan, and it looked better than what GE did with the Pyke, and really, like, forcing down mid lane there was the right play, but they just, I mean, overall, I think the top teams in VCS have been getting so much better at just chilling and not doing anything, just waiting for mistakes from the enemy team. Specifically, Secret is very, very good at that. And I think that's a lesson that AS in this game should have learned.
I do also want to take this opportunity to praise, I think, I'm not sure if I want to say just play cool or play cool in Cure, because the amount of roams that their Rise was giving, a lot of early game proactive plays from Cure as well, I think do need to be, appreciated, I feel.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, play cool, he's getting griefed by his team. Honestly, like, this guy literally tried his best every single play set up on side lane. He was there with ultimate, he was getting prio in the matchup, he had no business getting prio in, and now he's just, there's nothing he can really do anymore. He's right. His job is done, but it isn't enough to get his team the win, and they might have a chance to kill Penguin.
They land a hook onto Penguin, but Penguin goes gold and then dashes his way out to safety. Hero stepping forward, and down goes here. Zin being forced away. Play cool goes into stasis. Might actually get a kill onto Eddie, but sadly just a little bit short. Team Secret get 2 kills for nothing, and they will get the Nexus as they wrap up this game in under 25 minutes.
Yeah, and honestly, just good game from Team Secret as well. Yes, they were beaten in the early game. Yes, the roams came in. Yes, you might have to talk about how can we stop a Rise in the future from really getting to those side lanes less and less. But overall, I think they showed a really good game. And it just, they knew their win condition. They knew the enemy win condition. They waited to storm out and then punished the first big mistake that AS did. Immediately won the team fight and won the game.
A solid game from Team Secret. No, I mean, the early game was rough. Not much they can do when you're getting 4-man dive. They survived it, and then they bounced back, and after 15 minutes, they played that pretty much as well as you could ask them to. With that, we're going to be throwing into a break. When we return, we'll be breaking down that opening game and jumping in to pick some bans for Game 2 of the series. So stay tuned. We'll be back in a moment. Welcome back, everyone, to the VCS English. We're heading into our second game of the second series of the day, ASE Esports against Team Secret. Unsurprisingly, Tim, in game one, Secret took the win. However, ASE Esports did try somewhat, particularly play call on the rise, along with Hero, who made a lot of roaming plays around the map to try to facilitate the aggression of the Draven Pike in the bottom lane.
Yeah, I mean, the first 10 minutes were really good. I mean, they played great 10 first minutes. I mean, Team Secret kind of gave it to them. Team Secret kind of said, yeah, let's have it. You know, like, we're answering some of the dives, others we can't. And And AS Esports can't close it out. I mean, the mid lane push, just a really good answer from Team Secret, because other teams would just miss that they can win that team fight, you know? That they can take that team fight, but one step too many from AS, they immediately give up the game. Team Secret comes back and plays great another 10 minutes. I mean, it really came down to, okay, you played great 10 first minutes, can you play the next 10? And they couldn't. So the question is, where do we go from now and from here? And I think step has to be maybe go for more scaling, because if you play a good early game, then have a bit more scaling. You don't have to be as stressed as you maybe were in this game.
Well, maybe the first half of this split is to work on the first 10 minutes of the game. Maybe the second half of the split for AS Esports is work on the next 10 minutes of the game. And then next year in spring, they can work on the third 10 minutes of the game. I don't know where I'm going with this one. Who should we talk about? Eeny, meeny, mine. Artifact. Artifact played pretty well on the Azir, didn't they?
Yeah, he played really well on the Azir. His shuffles were really good. Yes, he didn't really get the priority in mid lane, but you asked me that question, right, in the green room, and basically we're like, yeah, but he wasn't getting prior, and then we basically realized, yeah, I mean, if the Ryze wants to expend mana and HP to get the push, he can't do that. Problem usually for Ryze is he's really close range, and so he has to get up close and personal with the enemy mid laner, which against Azir should mean you just get ulted and die. But in this case, usually the Viego wasn't active enough to really stay around mid lane and enable his mid laner to do that, enable Artifact to play that aggressively and all in the Ryze whenever he was looking for push. And on the other hand, you said that him on the Volibear was really active and just had it under control the entire game.
Well, we will get ready to head into our picks and bans for Game 2. And just as I say that, we are heading in. So let's see then if Team Secret want to be banning away those early game ADCs, and they are getting rid of that Draven. So I wouldn't be surprised if we also see the Lucian and the other one, Kalista, getting banned away.
That would be really funny. Honestly, like, if you want to ban Lucian, Kalista, and Draven, more power to you, man. I mean, if that's some energy, just saying, you guys can only play early game, we take that away, you're nothing. And considering last game, they are nothing outside of the early game.
I can also confirm that their number of wins this season is also nothing for AS Esports, but Team Secret, they want to take away the center instead, so I'm going to guess that it'll be the Kalista final ban, because you were talking about how Lucian isn't that strong, even if it is an early game ADC.
I mean, you could also basically say, okay guys, we leave both open now, and we just first pick Kalista, and then you have Kalista on the other side, maybe has a Lucian, then you have maybe Lucian Nami against Renata Kalista, which is fine for Lucian Nami, but do you really want to have fine as Lucian Nami? Answer is not really. So I can just see them taking out another pick, maybe even the Ryze, take away that roaming potential, make really sure that AS has none of those early game options. It is going to be Lucian ban, and now AS... Honestly, meta read would be they have to ban the Kalista now. Yeah. Or it's going to be Kalista first pick. But they could also be just willing to trade the Kalista, for example, for something like the Volibear.
Well, let's see what AS want to ban away. They've got a few seconds remaining, but Team Secret with that first pick could just look to instantly lock in the Kalista. AS Esports, they want to ban away Artifact's Azir. That's not something that I was expecting, even though it was a good performance from Artifact.
And now you pick Renata. Now you pick Renata and Volibear. And you basically force Team Secret to pick something like Nautilus or a Mumu into the Renata. Because that would be probably the best thing you can figure out for yourself. You could also pick Viego. Renata Viego is a good combo. But Renata overall is good into Viego, so you don't have to be scared of that really. So I believe you should just take the Volibear. It worked great last game. Hugh had good impact in the early stages. That's what you need, and that's what you get with that pick.
Well, so far, you're on 50%. Well, actually, you're on 100% with the Kalista, with the Renata. They're going to go for the Viego, what you were talking about. I don't think Team Secret will look for the Volibear themselves, surely, Tim, because we already talked about in Game 1, you know, the power that Renata has into a Volibear, and indeed, Penguin locks in himself the Lee Sin for the first time this split, actually.
Yep, and we see the other good combo outside of Renata and Kalista. We see Renata and Mumu. Mumu's matchup into... Renata is better than a Nautilus' matchup, so I understand the pick, but overall, Amumu just harder to execute as a team. And is it the first Amumu game we actually see in
Surely not.
VCS.
No, I don't believe that.
I haven't seen one in the VCS. I mean, LPL, LCK, they've all played it, so it's not too new. And on the other hand, we have the Aphelios Renata. So, honestly, very predictable and zero surprises in the first 6 picks.
We have had 7 Amumu games in the split. 3 games played by Palette. We've had 1 from Elio, 1 from Taki, 1 from BOB, and 1 from B as well.
So we did have a decent amount of games already. It just happened to be the games I didn't watch. It is what it is. But now we see again those aggressive mid laners being taken out. This time from the other side, AS doesn't want to give up the Lissandra. And might not want to give up the LeBlanc either. Yep, they're taking that out as well. And something to keep in mind is they've now taken the underperforming mid laner and they've thrown him out of the roster and put in the underperforming top. LLT is back, ladies and gentlemen.
Don't you love it when you get roster swaps mid-series? I do. Now, not locked in then for LLT. We'll see how Team Secret want to answer this. I want to see Irelia. Do it. Do it for me, Team Secret. Come on. Please, please.
Okay, hero. I mean, it is a hero champion. He has played it before. He has a good Irelia. If somebody picks it, it is gonna be hero. And
yes,
we are believers. Hero. No, we're not going for the Wukong.
No.
Okay, Wukong has decently good matchup into Gnar, right? I mean, it isn't bad, especially specifically Armut was known for really playing that matchup and kind of gapping out under really hard in the EU. So that is something that can work really, really well. And with Victory, you just have a good teamfight comp.
I mean, to be fair, Armut is just cracked with Gnar and Wukong in general. And I think there's one other champion that he's like mega busted on, but I can't remember what it is. Maybe it's Aatrox. Either way, this top lane matchup should be good for Hero. Zuhao, though, he's just going to be... Oh, pardon me. Artifact, though, is going to be taking up the side. It has a few good ults he can steal. One of those being the Gnar ult. The other one, that hostile takeover for Xin. As AS Esports lock in the Akali to round out their composition.
We talked about it in the beginning, right? The game that Team Secret always drops. Game 2.
Yeah.
Oh, this is absolutely the game, man. This is looking like a Team Secret drop. I mean, this looks like my solo queue team just, my solo queue team watched a bit too much LCK and they had to come up with the draft. This would be it, man. That's LCK. And now, if Team Secret plays like they did last game, then, oh boy, we're in for a treat, man. Because LCK loves to play those drafts and then do nothing for 30 minutes straight. So I'm just excited if VCS and specifically Team Secret, who have been more on the cautious side this split, can do that as well.
Okay. My one issue with the analysis you have put forward, Tim, is the fact that AS Esports don't have the early game composition they need to be able to win games.
Yeah, but they have great late game. Like, their team comp is insane. Like, they have basically top to bot really good power picks. I think Vego is better than Lee Sin. We cleared that up in the first series.
Tim.
Yeah.
I do like how our roles have reversed, because usually I'm good cop, you're bad cop, but you're being good cop this time, so I'm going to be bad cop. But did you see AS Esports team fighting in the last game?
No, but the team comp wasn't really able to team... I mean, AS Esports...
True.
Okay, so if that was the draft in game 1, Team Secret would instantly win. But it is game 2,
right.
Milky. It is game 2, which means Team Secret is basically the worst team in the league. Just for game 2, they managed to somehow, on every position, be the worst team in the league. So, I believe in AS here.
Okay, you believe in AS. Either way, we have a game of one team who has not won a single game, let alone a single series, against the team that has never got a clean sweep win and always wins 2-1. One of the records has to be broken. No, we can either keep both of the records or lose both of the records. I think that's how it works. Yes.
Yeah, basically.
Yeah.
So it's not record breaking for sure.
No. One of the records will break. Either Team Secret will
wins
get
2-0, yeah, or
AS Esports will win a game. Sorry,
yeah.
I got there in the end. I'm a bit slow. I've already casted 4 games. That's my excuse.
I mean, you're usually slow anyway, so I'm not sure if the 4 games change anything. Yeah, I mean,
I'll have you know, my title as a caster is like the fastest caster in the EU because I do sim racing. So yeah.
Okay,
Take
cool.
that. Right.
Okay.
Anyway.
Whatever.
Both junglers starting on the red side of the map, that being ASE Esports side. So we might get some vertical jungler, which I would love to see. And Hero just aggressing on LLT. He saw what Emperor was doing in the previous series to Nagia, and he wants to do the same to LLT.
Yeah, and how did that go for Emperor?
It went really well, I remembered.
They lost the game, so it
Did
didn't.
they lose that game?
Yeah, it was game 3. It was game 3, and they lost.
Oh yeah. Okay.
So-
but that wasn't Emperor's fault. Oh, Penguin.
No, he's safe. He has
Gonna
more
have to
jump.
ward jump.
Oh, Heo flashes.
Oh, Heo actually does flash to chase Penguin. I was saying that as a joke. Playcool is making his way over as well. There's no way out for Penguin. He fails the flash, and Heo gets first blood.
I mean, this should have been disaster, game over, GG, well played, go next, when the blue buff and Grump are gone, but Heo just immediately runs back and gets the kill. Yes, he doesn't get any camp, but, I mean, at least he gets a kill. That's cool. He gets
double buffs.
He gets double buffs, and he gets Penguin's flash as well, but he doesn't get the red buff because it is being defended, and also good roam there from Xin. Even level 1, he's just annoying, he's Renata. And we see, he also takes a long ray around to really go, he gets a really long ray around. And let's see if Xin does it. No, Xin just does nothing. Okay, he just watches as his jungler dies. Sometimes you have to watch, and now all eyes...
That's not Zin's jungler.
Yeah. I mean, we didn't want to see that again, did we? The flash.
We did.
Really not great, but overall, still a decent position for Team Secret to be in. They did take away that early blue buff, and Penguin still has his 16 CS still on, maybe onto Heo. Heo's only level 2, Penguin level 3.
I don't know how this is happening right now. It's kind of a bizarre situation to be in. I'm surprised Penguin hasn't gone more aggressively. Is Heo going for his Krugs, or is he going for a gank?
No, he's
That's a very long way to go to your Krugs. Heo, you need to learn about traveling the shortest distance to your camps, buddy.
I mean, we learned on bot lane that he doesn't really know about that one. But also a bit surprising that Penguin actually tried to invade, because the huge advantage he has isn't in CS that he has right now, but are still on the map, right? Because he still had 5 camps, including his blue buff up. So taking those camps as quick as possible to reset them should be his first priority, just as a jungler to not fall behind, because now we see first reset camps coming up for Heo, who should also be resetting. I have no idea what he's doing top lane. These, my dude, why are you here?
Gonna go in? Oh god, this is gonna be hilarious. I can feel the energy manifesting, Tim, and the chaos that is about to ensue. Oh, they've been spotted out. Does Team Secret go in? Meanwhile, while all of that's been going on, Uzi's got a kill onto Zuhao. Penguin's gotta get it. Penguin's got the kill. LLT, no.
Okay.
Oh, that's not how you back. Who was it who backed like that in last week that I was casting on?
I'm not sure, but I want to see how Uzi.
Oh,
killed.
It was it's a leash back. That's what it was. It was the leash back.
Yeah, but how did Zuhao die? I mean, we talked about Amumu. I mean, to be fair, Renata
He shot him with a gun.
Nice, thank you. Thank you.
Welcome.
I mean, yeah.
Let's see then.
Oh my.
Oh no, Zuhao. Oh no. No, we didn't want to see that. No. I thought the flash from before was bad. Okay, so this is probably a good time for me to mention. With some of my friends, we were playing on a competitive team, right? And
yes.
Whenever I play Nautilus, I have these moments that it happens like every single series. Well, I'll hook to make a play, and I'll miss the enemy, but hook the enemy tower, and pull myself into the tower and die.
Yeah. I mean,
that's what Zuhao did.
I mean, I'm coaching, right? And I have a jungle positioner coach, and he is watching at the moment. He wrote me some messages because he's unhappy about the jungle performances. Because both junglers refuse to take camps, and one thing that he really hates is junglers who refuse to take camps, and specifically here, the Viego and the Lee Sin, they can easily just farm it up. They are so strong, level 6, with both the kick and, of course, the Kingslayer coming in. So yeah, I'm not sure
So-
why they're not farming. Penguins, mate, your top camps are coming up. Why are you bot?
Well, look, we don't talk about the effective pathing that occurs we usually praise the VCS, but like, even though sometimes we have some wacky games, our junglers are really good. Here might be the exception to that. With this particular game, there's been some questionable pathing, questionable ways of getting to camps. There's Artifact, always difficult to land and abduct when you've got an Akali sitting in a Twilight Shroud.
Yep, and now Hio is moving towards mid lane, maybe looking onto Artifact, but Artifact knows what's going on, backed off, and now Lee Sin is actually moving towards Drake. So his top camps are going towards Hio, yeah.
Hio? Where are you going, buddy? Oh, he's going towards top lane. LLT might already be dead, though. Goes up into Mega Gnar. Hero just needs to buy some time. Still has a Cyclone available. Will use it. Gnar shoves Hero away, but Hero still wants to make the play. Hero's just beating him down to a pulp. LLT flashing forward, then walks away, and Hero will be able to get the kill.
And now, Mr. Viego, you take yourself and you put yourself to the enemy level 3 Grump. That Grump is already twice reset. It's so valuable. No, we're not taking it. Okay, we're not taking it. It's fine. I ignore pathing, okay? So,
oh, wait, no,
good
maybe.
Again.
I think has he decided that he wants it? He's walking around in circles for a bit. He's actually walking around in circles. Okay, no, now he's making his way towards the mid lane. He wants to make a play there. Artifact now looking to go in onto Play Cool. Bandage toss flashed away by Play Cool. Who is staying cool. Here flashes forward, gets the kill. Who needs a Grump when you can get a kill, boys? And Penguin kicks out here at the end of the play for some style points.
Somehow, Hio has absolutely turbo griefed his jungle. Like,
No.
in a way,
You're just galaxy brained all of us.
But he's playing, I don't know, 29D chess and just went out of his jungle with VCS and 3-0. This guy is the smartest person alive. Or either he's the smartest, he's the smartest or dumbest person alive. But whatever he's doing, he's winning.
I'm going back. Remember what I said about the VCS has the best junglers around? Hio is our best jungler, folks.
I don't even know what's going on, man.
I want to get a replay because I said he's walking around in circles as a joke, but I genuinely think he was walking around in circles.
Yeah, the crab was dead already. He was just running around on the crab, resetting the move speed or something. Not sure about that. Yeah, so best versus worst team, and Hio right now is having a great lead in the jungle. Let's see if this early game lead is enough for AS to close out the game, because again, they 2k up against Team Secret last time. It was about the same at 10 minutes, so the question is, can they close it out now? And this time they have a much better draft, of course, to close it out. They have good team fighting, they have the Gnar ultimate, they have Aphelios and Renata, plus 2 good backline divers who can easily exploit any damage done by, for example, an Infernum ultimate from Uzi.
Rift Herald as well, picked up for Hio, so they can extend that 2k goal lead even further. Team Secret were able to get the first streak of the game. We'll see though whether they can get anything more than that. What's Hio up to right now? I want to learn some Galaxy Brain jungling. He is currently clearing away a control ward on his blue buff.
Yeah, and for the first time, both junglers have basically full cleared their side of the jungle, while we see a top gank in action. Penguin is going for LLT.
Penguin goes in, ward hops, kicks, into Cyclone, LLT dead.
That was really close, because if LLT actually got into red rage bar there, he could have just ulted Penguin, and Penguin would have died in a 1-for-1, most likely, or even a 1-for-0, because now, of course, gets the HP, and now the bot dive coming in with a Herald, they might have a chance to actually get onto Zhuhao.
Rift Herald dropped in the bottom lane, 3v2, 4v2 if you count Shelly as a person, i.e. Shelly will get a charge, some tower plates going through, but Team Secret will be able to pick that up and stay alive.
Yeah, it's similar in gold, what they just gathered. Yes, top lane lost, I think, 2 platings as well, but still, that is fine.
Playcall is just not interested in participating in this whatsoever, so here we'll head back into his jungle sanctuary.
Yep, he's running around again.
He is. He wants to go to his Gromp. He knows where he's going, and I can confirm he took the shortest path to his crop this time as well, so maximizing his time efficiency there.
Yeah, and I'm just praying to Lord Jesus that this man. That isn't he. Okay.
Oh, good flash from Uzi. Bandage toss does land. Zin can go in with a hostile takeover if he wants to, because Eddie is right in front of him, but he's not using it just yet. Gravitum gun lands. They can root Eddie down in place, but they choose not to. Hero showing up as well. Forced to heartbreak it defensively, and now there's a hostile takeover drop down, but in goes the Lee Sin, and that is death onto Hero. Shuriken flip does not land onto Eddie, who's now flashing his way out to safety, but Zhu Hao is not safe, and that is a kill for Playcool. They look for Penguin. Penguin gets one. Now they look for Playcool. The bailout will not keep Playcool alive, and his Team Secret, who get 4 kills for 1.
I'm contemplating right now if that was
Leaving.
if AS was able to play that mechanically worse. Did
I
they hit
genuinely
something?
don't know what was happening. I was casting in complete confusion.
So first of all, Zhu Hao is going really deep, and Zin is looking to punish. His Q then gets flashed, which, okay, up until this point, this is all understandable. Now we're exhausting the Mumu, and we're all monkey running onto Zhu Hao for some reason. Hugh has to go out, and I'm pretty sure that Renata W isn't up, because he isn't using it to save his jungler. And now Shuriken Flip misses, Akali doesn't have ultimate, we're again monkeying on the Amumu because we all want to die, and now Artifact comes in and kills you. This was disastrous, and you asked me, can they actually out-teamfight this? No, they cannot. They're just mechanically not good enough. And we see Penguin getting killed again. Big shutdown to Playcool. Playcool is probably the only guy in this team that actually has some mechanical skill, so I would be scared giving him that gold.
Yeah, a lot of gold going over on to Playcool. I'm still in absolute confusion why Zin just didn't straight away use a hostile takeover in that bot lane play. I'm baffled by that. This is a replay. This was happening during the previous replay of how someone died. Oh, Playcool getting kills.
Yeah, Playcool gets 2, and then the third one on Penguin as well. I mean, Playcool is the most fed member in the game right now.
He looks like Among Us. That Amumu skin, when hijacked, looks like Among Us. I'm sorry, but I have to bring that up.
Thank you.
Like, look at that.
Yeah, I mean, we have to see. I mean, if Amumu dies again, which is very likely because he has CDR boots and his 0-3, he's not having the game of his life. I think the Nautilus blind pick probably would have been better for him. Than the Mumu. Or it wouldn't have been a blind pick, right? It would have been into Renata, but just having more comfort and not playing that Mumu would have maybe been a good idea. And now suddenly the 1-1-1 Akali is 4-1-1 and has 2.5 items. Which isn't great for your team, because while you can decently engage and you have good offensive CC, your defensive CC is kind of lacking. You really have to keep back the Mumu to do anything defensively, because yes, you have Wukong ultimate, but do you really want to use Wukong ultimate to peel the Akali? And the answer is probably no.
Currently, there isn't much of a goal lead for ASE Esports. We're talking about 1k, but this is a 4-1 Akali with Night Harvester. Here is 3-1, has a Blade of the Rune King, building towards that second item as well. And right now, just posturing over this mid lane, looking for that potential play. And here, just being very patient. Might look to go for an engage onto Eddie, but the Spectral Maw just a bit too far away.
Why are both teams ignoring bot lane? I mean, Herald is up, I understand, but it's second Herald, man. You just... Literally, both teams are losing more in bot lane than they will ever gain by the second Herald, by the way.
Bot lane boring. Herald go brr.
I mean, for Team Secret, the wave is pushing towards them, so it's better for them. So it's just AS kind of griefing, and Team Secret saying, if you want to grief it, we're done with that.
Well, AS Esports say, we now want to fight. Hostile takeover will land onto 2 members that will give AS Esports the opportunity to engage onto Hero. Uses the Cyclone. Playcool now going back in. Surely that's going to be the Gnar falling. Bailout's going to be able to keep the Gnar alive. And AS Esports look for more. Zhu Hao now falling. Hero stepping forward. Not quite going to be able to land onto Penguin. Heartbreaker over the wall, but can't engage further onto Hero. As in goes Penguin. The handshake does not land. Uzi might be able to find some damage back in return, but can't do so. A 2-for-2 at the end of the fight.
Please, somebody help this man. AS's jungler just went way too deep. Everybody, but really AS's jungle, because he went a bit mental there, going with his second ultimate deeper into the fight, chasing after and then dying immediately. So, it was a decent fight for AS. It could have been better. It could have been 4-2, I think. Now it was a... What was it? It was actually... Let's look back. 2-2 in the end, yeah. But it is a decent gauge, and hostile takeover hits well. I'm not sure why LLT is not just looking for ultimate here. Now they're all going onto the Wukong clone, and then the double Gnar ultimate really turns up the fight, and in the end...
Oh my god, play cool missed the ultimate. I saw someone mention it in the Twitch chat, so I kept an eye on the Akali, and he misses the ult onto Eddie. Oh no, dearie me.
Yeah, and then we have Hugh just... You know, he saw that as well, and he was, if my mid laner is sending it, I can send it as well. Jump straight into the enemies, and now you have a Phaeos who's really strong in the game, and you have, of course, your Akali still together with the Veigar. So AS are in a good spot to win this game, because they are outscaling this time. They have the better team fight. They should have the better team fight come this time around, and Team Secret, they're forced to really play aggressive and really win those mid-game fights because they are not in a great position. But that also means they can just stack Drakes here, and it is on AS to really defend that.
Can I just say that right now, I feel that this series, actually, I'm going to have to hold that thought because we've had a bandage toss. We've had the Curse of the Sad Mummy as well. Xin will die. Bailout will not keep him alive. Team Secret get the first kill of the fight. Do they look for more heroes making his way over? As in goes Artifact, stealing away the perfect execution. And it is 2 more kills going the way of Team Secret.
Every time I say AS is in a good position, AS just runs it down. I mean,
AS are in a really bad position now.
Yeah, I mean, suddenly you gave up 3 kills, suddenly you gave 2k gold lead to Team Secret, and suddenly Team Secret is in a good position. I mean, you had the last fight. The last fight should have been winning for you. You misplayed it a bit of better. What the hell? Play cool.
Okay, things have gone a bit blurry for me. Play cool going in. He's dashing in and around. I can't really see much because I'm on low frames per second, but it is a 1-for-1. Uzi wants one more auto, but can't get close enough to Eddie for it. So 2 kills going over to the side of Team Secret.
Equality is back for you again, or?
I can cast off this. It's fine.
Okay. Yeah, I to be honest, I have no idea what they're doing. I mean, first of all, it's a good catch, but also, why are you with 2 people in the river when you're playing against Amumu and Kalista? Like, how's it ever play? And then you stay around to take blue buff, you get run down by the Wukong. So this is all obvious. Like, you should know that Team Secret is trying to do that. And then in mid lane, you're trying to force, but I'm not sure why.
So what I was going to say before is I think Team Secret were trying really hard to keep up their streak of always going to Game 3, but I think AS Esports are trying even harder to keep their streak of not winning a game.
Yeah, I mean, they're both absolutely looking for their streaks and trying to keep it alive as good as possible. Yeah. And then LLT's TP is... What the...
Okay, I would just like to clarify to any of our viewers, because I'm sure they will at least rethink that. Like, yes, we're having a bit of fun flaming, but we don't actually think either team is, you know, trying to keep their records or trying it.
No.
The game
absolutely.
is just a bit of a hectic game. So,
yeah, and also...
I just want to clarify that, because sometimes viewers get some weird ideas.
Yeah, I mean... I think AS really... I underestimated how Team Flash I want to be. As we see a top lane fight. I'm not sure when that happened.
On here? No way, Artifact won that.
No.
Oh my god, he almost did it as well.
Yeah, Hero didn't have ultimate, I think, so that was why it was so close. And also no healing reduction as well. Mostly armor build, so he wasn't in a great position. Now Team Secret is starting the Nash. This could be a great play to throw away the entire game for them again. Yeah, they're stopping it. So they're not looking to throw away the game. That's good. And again, the bot wave, not touched by AS. Do you actually know the clip where, I think it was in an A, where they didn't touch top wave for like 18 minutes in a game? Was somebody bot lane for the last like 10 minutes of the game? yeah, there was literally like one of the games they literally just played bot and mid lane and they didn't touch top wave for 18 minutes. Both teams, by the way, didn't touch top wave for both. And Artifact, finally. I mean, all the time I'm looking bot lane, it's always just AS's wave pushing towards Team Secret and AS losing farm on bot lane. And that explains also why they are down in some CS, why they are down in levels a bit. Actually, not too badly down in levels. But considering they have a kill lead, they should be... I mean, Uzi is definitely onto Eddie, so that is definitely something where the level lead is now lying, just because less of the Team Secret members are in mid lane ensuring XP there.
Yeah. Uzi, though, with the same kind of kills as Eddie, a little bit less farm and down about half an item on the Kalista, but that at least is going to scale a lot better than the Kalista as this game goes on. I want to talk a little bit about builds, because Night Harvester Morello is not something I was expecting to see from a Kali in this game.
Yeah. I think it's bad. I think it's really, really bad.
I'm glad that you're in agreement with me on that.
It's like Playcool was the guy who was fed, right? He was supposed to carry team fights. That's not an item build that lets you carry team fights. Like, build Zonya so you can go really monkey really deep. Or like build Rabadons to one-shot people, or like Shadow Flame or anything, but like you're not even able to really put it on many peoples, right? Because there is a lot of healing on the other side, so I understand why you want healing reduction, but then just build it, like, let Renata
get it.
Yeah, Uzi, or let Renata get it so he can put it on his teammates. But like, it's not great on the Akali, man.
Yeah. Well, we've got a teleport coming through. That's because we have a Drake spawning in 20 seconds time, and it is sole point for Team Secret. Probably something that we should have mentioned earlier. So both sides just posturing around the Drake, trying to set up vision for it. Maybe AS actually just give a... No, surely you don't give away Infernal Drake to try to get back. This is not smart.
Yeah. Did they just forget Drake's up, or what am I witnessing?
Oh no, AS.
And Hero has a great flank now.
I don't want to flame you anymore. Playcool going in onto Zuhao, and that's a Drake secured. That's Infernal Soul for a Kalista as well, for a Wukong. Zuhao going in, cursed off the Sad Mummy onto 3 members, but in from behind is Hero. Here's going to be able to find 1 kill. He steals away the soul, but he can't get anything further because he is sniped down. Uzi will fall as well. LT flashing away from the abduct, and Team Secret get 4 kills for 1. You know what, Tim? I'm going to nominate you for Caster of the Year, because that laugh was the best analysis I have ever heard after a fight, and I'm not even joking.
They just... Why? What? I mean, okay, so first of all, you're not contesting Soul. That's a bad decision in itself. But I can stand it if you at least start the Nash and flip it on Nash. Like, they walk to Nash, they placed on Vision while they saw the entire enemy team on Drake, then they walk into Drake, lose Drake, take the fight into Soul anyways, and die. Why? Then your Akali is doing this.
Yeah.
He's wasting ultimate on... Even if Amumu dies, like, what's the advantage?
So I want to give a shout out in Twitch chat to Imanition for the Twitch comment of the year, which is, they did contest it after it was gone.
Yeah, that's the problem. It's they were looking for Elder Drake, I guess, and wasn't there yet. So yeah. Milky, I really want to tell you that I have a great analysis for what they just did, or like I can tell you how great these teams are. Like, it's just they're running it.
So when I started casting in the VCS, like, a lot of the time I heard a lot of flame towards the teams about bad things, and I thought, we should be more positive. So I've always tried to be like very positive, find the silver linings. You've heard that in the previous series, but like, as I think everyone has been able to tell in this game, I've just been on the flame train, because like, it's very difficult to find the positives here as Artifact picks up another kill, this time onto LLT. I guess they should have kept 2T in the top lane.
I think it wouldn't have mattered, my dude. I think the LLT, also, he isn't great, but he is the only reason they're losing. He's one of many reasons they're losing. And honestly, okay, so I did GAM versus GE, where GE had an abysmal performance, but GAM wasn't playing well either. I think Team Secret is playing much better. I think Team Secret, they're doing some mistakes, but overall they're playing just a solid game. They're looking for Drakes, they're stacking those Drakes, they get the soul, they win the game. And they're just waiting for AS to throw it again, because they know AS is going to throw it again, eventually.
Yeah, Team Secret have been playing this relatively fine. There have been some questionable plays. It's AS that, like, Some players haven't made sense. I really hope there isn't some like LEC casting scout watching this thinking, oh my god, these guys, all they do is flame. I promise we can actually cast.
I think one of the most divisive German caster duos said we start casting. We start to cast well when the team start playing well.
Okay.
And he said that during Worlds. Dentist.
Monte Cristo?
No, one of the German casters. He was a coach for Copenhagen Wolves in the beginning, and then he moved to casting.
Fair enough. Well, either way, engage from Team Secret. It's a good engage, and this time the Renata ult slices through AS Esports. 2 quick kills already for the side of Team Secret. Play cool, trying to stay cool. We'll dash over the wall, and we'll be able to get out to safety. But Hero is on the hunt. He wants some Akali for dinner. As Eddie and the rest of Team Secret just march their way in onto the Nexus Towers, now looking for LLT. That's a fair bit of damage, and he almost dies. Go on, Penguin. You know you want to follow that Sonic Wave. In the end, though, Team Secret will make their way back over to the towers. Play cool actually did die to Hero, and AS will fall to Team Secret as Team Secret secure their first 2-0 of Summer Split.
One streak was broken for sure, and it wasn't the losing streak of AS Esports. I gave them 2 games. This season. I gave them 2 to 3 games. I'm revising that to just 2 games at most. They look abysmal because, like, I can't see teams getting stumped in the early games by just having worse laners. But these guys have their early game ready. It looks like they have been only practicing 15-minute scrims, like Brit scrims. They're really solid in the early game, and then they have no idea how to play a team fight. They don't even know what a team fight is. And then they just run it down there. So I don't even know how they win, because this game they were outscaling. They had the better teamfight comp. They still run it down while having a gold lead. I'm not sure what, like, as a coach, I'm not sure what to give them, because in the end they're just worse players.
Give them a timeout. Give them punishment. No food for dinner.
I mean, that's rough, even for Asian teams, right? I mean, that even for Asian teams, I think withholding food is not really okay. What would Coma do?
Coma will just refuse to interact with them for a day, give them the silent treatment. So I want to try to be positive. I mean, for AS Esports, this is a new roster, a lot of new faces working together. So there are going to be some growing pains. These are very painful growing pains right now, I'll admit. But at least they have individual skill, especially Playcool. Playcool's been very good.
I mean, his early games were great. His Akali play in teamfights was not great. Far from it. His race game, though, was really good. I think overall they have some chances, but I really don't see them winning games. I mean, they have new faces, and I think it's time for some more new faces. On the other hand, Team Secret looked like the first place team. I mean, they played solid. I mean, if you want to have positive things, talk about Team Secret for me, because I really don't have anything for AS.
Yeah. I mean, to be fair, I feel like Team Secret were a bit shaky, and if they played against any team that had some mid-game team fighting skill, they would have definitely lost one of those 2 games, I feel. But I mean, Team Secret did what they had to do, which is limit test and win.
I'm not even sure if that is the case, because, like, especially in the first game where they were inactive for a big part of the game, that was their job, right? Not like not losing by too much that they can't win teamfights later on, which they did. So yes, maybe the game would have changed with a better team fighting team, but overall, I think they played 2 solid games. They weren't the best games, but like, it's also really hard to play like great games, because what AS did was so random. So even when you're a good team, it's really hard to answer, because it's just random what they do.
Yeah. Understood. Well, with that brings a close to the day on VCS. Why couldn't we have started with a series and ended on the high of SBTC 2 Wales? But thank you everyone for tuning in, and thank you for going along with all the jokes that we were having on cast as well. Tomorrow, though, we've got 2 very good series coming up. You have my word on that. Genius Esports against Saigon Buffalo and Cerberus against GAM. So make sure you do tune in for that. But from myself, from Tim, and from Marby as well, thanks once again for tuning in. Stay tilt-proof, and we'll see you tomorrow.